As we celebrate this solstice feast, open our eyes to the countless wonders and to the sparks of fire life that you have planted in each of us. May this holy and magical night be aglow with star fire and God light, as once again we begin the sacred season of summer. We are currently still under the social distancing restrictions relating to the coronavirus outbreak, and in an attempt to bring some light into what, for many, have been very dark days, we invite you to join us on our spiritual journey around Fradswell, as the earth is awash with fertility and fulfilment, and to share a time of joy, celebrating the longest day of the year. This day has many names: Easterval, meaning belonging to or appearing in summer, the summer solstice, or midsummer, and I'm certain there are many more. Most ancient cultures celebrated summer solstice in some way. Setting the watch was a tradition in rural England on Midsummer's Eve, where farmers would set large bonfires on their land, and villagers would wander from bonfire to bonfire carrying lanterns and torches to dance and make merry. It was considered good luck to jump through the flames. The highest jump of the evening predicted the height of the crops for the new harvest season. When the fires had burned out, they would collect the cold ashes and scatter them on their fields and gardens, so the crops would be bountiful for the rest of the summer growing season. Praise him with tambourines and dancing. Praise him with stringed instruments and flutes. Psalm 150, verse 4. As the sun rises on the longest day of the year, I'm reminded of some words from Psalm 19. In the heavens, God has pitched a tent for the sun. It is like a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, like a champion rejoicing to run his course. It rises at one end of the heavens and makes its circuit to the other. Nothing is deprived of its warmth. As the sun spirals its longest dance, cleanse us. As nature shows bounty and fertility, bless us. Let all things live with loving intent and to fulfill their truest destiny. The wheel of the year has turned once more. The light has grown for 6 long months until today. Today is midsummer, a time for celebration. Tomorrow the light will begin to fade as the wheel of the year turns on and ever on. From the east comes the wind, cool and clear. It brings new seeds to the garden, bees to the pollen, and birds to the trees. The sun rises high in the summer sky and lights our way even into the night. Today the sun casts 3 rays, the light of fire upon the land, the sea, and the heavens. From the west, the mist rolls in, bringing rain and fog, the life-giving water without which we would cease to be. Beneath my feet is the earth, soil, dark and fertile, the womb in which life begins and will later die, then return anew. At each solstice we are reminded that change is the order of nature and that we are at a major turning point in the wheel of the year. The Oak King, who has ruled the waxing of the year, represents strength, courage and endurance. The Celtic name for oak is dwr, which means doorway. We are crossing the threshold, entering the doorway into the second, waning part of the year. It is never wise to dismiss folk tales, legends or traditions, as they are usually based on some fact from which they originate. Ley lines are straight lines, supposedly connecting prehistoric or ancient sites. They are often thought to be imbued with deep power and electromagnetic energy. Find for me this before it is gone. We are standing beneath a venerable oak tree on the parish boundary next to a stream and a parish marker stone. This beautiful oak tree stands at the crossing of two such lines, one connecting Fradswell Church with Chartley Castle, the other connecting the churches of Grattage and Salt. Gather the future and gather the past, all of those moments that just did not last. Trees have been revered since the dawn of time. The tying of ribbons of cloth to trees is an ancient ritual, the cloth being a sort of physical representation of a prayer, and it's said that as the ribbons decay, the prayer is answered and is blown on the wind. God's the promise is broken. Gather the many and gather the few. They are unwilling. They will be called oaks of righteousness, a planting of the Lord for the display of his splendour. Isaiah chapter 61, verse 3. When all this is done, and all this shall be, set them before me, then set them all free.
This is a time of brightness and warmth. Crops are growing in their fields with the heat of the sun. The power of the sun at midsummer is at its most potent, and the earth is fertile with the bounty of growing life. Our community garden, orchard and greenhouses are full of colour at this time. Blue for the sky, green for the grass, and fruit trees yellow for the sun. Red for the tomatoes and every colour of the rainbow for the blooming flowers. Members of our community regularly meet here at the village hall for social occasions, but due to the COVID-19 restrictions, of course, this is not possible at the moment.
As we look forward to the day when we can once again meet up, I would like to share the words of Ecclesiastes 8 verse 5 and Psalm 133 verse 1, which I believe are both appropriate for this occasion and the season. Firstly, Ecclesiastes. So I commend the enjoyment of life, because there is nothing better for people under the sun than to eat and drink and be glad. Then joy will accompany them in their toil all the days of the life God has given them under the sun. And verse 1 of Psalm 133. How good and pleasant it is when God's people live together in unity.
God of the wild and wonderful, of arcing skies and minuscule jewelled wings, set my worship free to explore beyond these walls. Reignite me, excite me, and creatively delight me as your word comes newly alive through the colourful witness of your world. Retune my senses, sharpen my mind, and quicken my spirit to your presence as I look, hear, smell, touch and taste more of your goodness, and lead me out into greater adventures of discovering you and caring for all you have made. As we stand on this bridge, which spans the parish boundary, watching the water flow beneath us, we recall another ancient ritual of casting your burdens into the water. We take up a stone, and whilst holding it tightly, we think about what is worrying us today. We then drop it into the water below, knowing that as we do so, our burdens are taken from us. Give your burdens to the Lord, and he will take care of you. He will not permit the godly to slip and fall. Psalm 55, verse 22. I see a river with trees on its banks, so strong and so tall they have grown. So deep are their roots, they have still stood firm through the winds and storms that have blown. There is a river that flows from above, so full, so abundant and free. Come now and drink and taste the new life that Jesus still offers to thee. Learn now from the trees if you want to grow, and be strong in your walk with the Lord. Help your roots grow firm and deep as you pray, and read every day from his word. Then as the great storms of life blow on you, for surely they will come some day, like the trees by the river, you will stand and not fall, but gently sway. It's the summer solstice, the shortest of night, where our planet is blessed with the greatest of light. The sun at its power, sharing its wealth with the earth glowing in abundance and health. The trees' leaves are green and the birds are in song. The days are as warm as they are long. We honour the animals, plants and living things for the sun and the water and the life that it brings. May you find well-being and may you find peace in the days after solstice as the light does decrease. May the blessings of the solstice be yours, I pray, and the light warm your heart and soul every day.